Alright, so, timestamp. What is today? August 27th? It's about 9 p.m. Hell of a day. Alright, despite the fact that I just coughed, I feel okay. Got some phlegm in the back of my throat, which COPD or just normal human, I don't know. Anywho, so this is the giggling of a madman. No shortness of breath. I really do feel like I'm doing that scene from Jekyll and Hyde at times. Salty, bitter taste stings the tongue, warm in the gullet. Heat spreading strongly through my veins, slight feeling of euphoria. No noticeable behavioral differences. Anyway, if you know, you know. I want to play that part before I'm too old to get away with it. Anywho, I've been working on my voice and all that because I haven't really performed in years, but I'm not noticing any breathing or air problems from a singing standpoint, so that's good. If I can keep it there, we're great. So, alright, when the shop closed in 2015, 16, had a fair amount of debt, and Diamond, the comic distribution company, was still chasing me. And I don't know if I explained this to you or not. I explained it to my kid the other day, my youngest, because he wasn't sure what was going on there. So, when we discontinued selling new comics, they did the whole breach of contract thing. And we settled up for what products we'd gotten for them. One of the things with Diamond is you basically have to order 2 months in advance. So if August was our last month of actually getting product from them, we have already ordered stuff for September and October and maybe even into November a little bit. Especially for like some of the advanced stuff, because there's sometimes stuff will come out and it's like 4 months in advance you have to place an advance order. So what transpired after that was they essentially sued me for breach of contract, and according to the contract that, you know, we signed, what have you, they could and did charge me 100% restocking fee for items that hadn't been shipped yet, that I hadn't gotten. A restocking fee, 100%. Which is to say that if we were getting a $2,000 order every week, which was about the average, you know, sometimes it was $1,400, sometimes it was $3,000, but, you know, we'll say 2,000. That's what I was paying, you know, which is 40 to 60% of the retail. You know, so if I'm getting in 2,000, I'm hopefully, and other hobby shop owners out there will probably understand this one. Usually, you want to try and double up on stuff. If you pay $1 for it, you want to sell it for $2. With comics, that's a lot harder to do because they do kind of nickel and dime you a lot. So typically, if I bought something, if it had a cover price of $3, $2.95, $3, I probably paid $2 for it. You know, I'm only getting a 30 to 40% markup instead of the typical 50% or more that you normally want. But the point of what I'm getting at is they charged me 100% restocking fee. So instead of paying $2 for that comic, I paid $3 for that comic. I paid the full $2.95. And it's electronic restocking. They don't even have it in-house yet. It's just them canceling my orders and billing me retail price basically for everything that I ordered. So they hit me between that and lawyer fees, because, naturally. They hit me with, I want to say it was like $34,000 or $38,000 as a lawsuit, what I owed them. Which, again, what I owed them is really, we can debate on the semantics of what I owed them, at a later time. Now, over the course of the next year, between me attempting to pay it off, because I was actually trying to do the noble thing and make it right, but then they started attacking my bank accounts. They were getting court orders and going into bank accounts that had my name on it and stripping them, including both of my kids. They had, and there was less than $1,000 in each one, but they hit their savings accounts, tanked them down to $5 because that's as low as they could go. So over the course of the next year, what have you, they got around $9,000 from me, voluntarily and involuntarily. So, towards a $38,000 debt that, is it really a debt? So, that stings. That stings a little bit. So anyway, the way my day started today, I had gotten notification a while back about one of the credit card companies that we had worked with at the shop. They had apparently been overcharging their clients. So the state of Florida had pulled that. They won a class action suit, and they had pulled all that money and had it in account, and they sent out notification to all the people that technically were owed this money by that company. The state of Florida was holding it, and we just had to send in a claim form saying, yes, that's us, can we have the money now, please? So I did. And apparently someone else that used to work with us also sent in a claim form. So that person is getting a $3,700 check, which I know that they didn't know, that we had gotten notification, just like we didn't know that that person had gotten notification. But we needed that check. We needed that. It's been a rough year and a half. We needed that. So yeah, that was, I got an email this morning, because we were checking the mailbox every day, like, why isn't this check here? They processed the information. It said that they processed it. And they sent me an email saying, oh yeah, no, we processed it, but yeah, we're giving it to this person, because we processed their claim first. It's like, oh, okay. And I can't really dispute it, because that's just the rules for them. They give it to whoever sends in a claim first. But yeah, that stings. That stings. We needed that. So that's how my day started. At midnight, I've been up like 21 hours now. I'm pretty tired. Bright side, one of the symptoms of COPD, emphysema, letting you know that you're starting to slide down the slope, as it were, is that you fatigue really easily. So the fact that I've been up for 21 hours and done a fair amount and have been under high stress, okay, maybe I'm still in that mild bracket where I want to stay. Cool. So yeah, that's what greeted me at 1 o'clock in the morning as I read that email, and I showed pics, and it stings. It stings. So yeah, that happened. Went to work. No shenanigans there. We're only getting a couple days a week, which that's, part of why it stings. Now, some of you know that we had our car worked on. Some of you can already tell where this is going. 2 months ago, something like that, I had the transmission rebuilt. And it was being weird. A couple weeks ago, we took it in and walked and bussed for a few days while they were working on it because something wasn't quite right. So we got the car back. I don't know how long have we had it, maybe a week. And we told them when we took it in the last time, there was kind of a grindy sound that didn't seem right. When we got the car back, it still kind of had the grindy sound. And they were like, that's not transmission, that's not covered, that's not us. And we're like, okay, all right. Now bear in mind, they did more than just the transmission. There were a few other like odd things that they did. One of them, the owner called me and verified this before they did it. They had already pulled everything out because they were getting ready to rebuild the transmission. So everything, the guts of the Mazda are gone. And the owner calls me up and says, okay, you've got some motor mount issues going on. Now, it's going to cost you a couple $100 extra, but we'll take care of that for you if you want. And I recommend that you do it, because if you do have it done at a later time, which you need to have it done, they're going to have to pull the engine out to do it. And they're going to charge you, like, more than I'm going to charge you, because we're right there. We can take care of it for you right now and just charge you like $200 instead of the $700 that you're going to get charged. Made sense to me. And I went, okay, cool, do it. So, some of y'all are probably reading ahead a little bit on this. The grindy sound is continuing. Now you're really reading ahead. The grindy sound is continuing and maybe even getting louder sometimes when we'd make turns. So we're driving down, we're coming home from work. And the grinding sound's getting kind of loud. And then suddenly it is becoming a boom, 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 and the car is just, it's like it's being punched in the butt. Every half second to second, just boom, boom, boom. We can feel the car jerking and the loud pounding sound. And then the car just, luckily we're on a back street. We're on a back street. God bless. We're on a back street where people can actually park on the street. It's an extra wide back street. So if you're in the right lane, you're also where somebody that lives on that side of the street might be parking, in front of the lawn or whatnot, and a lot of them do. So sometimes it can get entertaining, you're weaving around parked cars and hoping nobody's coming on this side. You get the gist. So the car says, yeah, I'm done. So we get out of the car, and again, we're a little startled, but also just giggling like we've gone mad, because maybe we have. Because this is the day we're having. Pop the hood, and I gotta learn how to insert photos into videos. I need to figure out how to do that. And right now I'm just using my phone, just kind of doing it primitive. If I was doing it with one of my Sonys, which I should probably break out, I could do it more easily. Actually piece together videos and stuff like that. I'm just down and dirty right now. Anyway, the engine is it's still under the hood, but it is kind of resting against the radiator. We can see hoses and things like that on the side of the engine, and the other hoses on this side where they used to join and become one, where it's just kind of like an Irishman on a 3-day bender. So we're observing, neither one of us is really a car person, but we're fairly smart people. I'm not going to call myself a stable genius because I don't know about the stable part, and technically I test in the 140s, and 160 is where genius is, so I'm not there, sorry. So Pix takes a picture or two and sends it to a guy that we know that is a little bit more car oriented, but we're already kind of doing the math in our heads. And the guy shoots us a note back and says, if I were to take a guess, it looks like a motor mount failed. Which seems, that clocks, considering the engine is no longer basically attached on the one side to the car proper. That, just looking at etymology of the word motor mount, it is a device that mounts the motor to something, one would assume. It's kind of, words. So I called the owner of the transmission company because at this point, Pix and I are both like, okay, motor mount. Hey, didn't they... So I call the owner. Well, I called the shop, and the owner picks up, and I tell him what's going on. Basically, the engine, the motor has detached from one side of where it should be attached. And he immediately says, can you get that to me right away? We're going to take care of that for you. Which to me says, uh-oh, we might be liable for that. So called AAA and got it towed there. They're supposed to call us when they know something. We didn't get a phone call today. Which, bright side, that probably means they're working on it because they know that it's their responsibility. Because the owner said, look, we're going to take care of you. Really sorry about this. We'll take a look, figure out what's going on. And it's like, the unspoken dialogue of, what's going on. Somehow, some way, somebody screwed up. It was either a motor mount part wasn't necessarily good. It failed. Your mechanic didn't do it right, didn't tighten it. The malfunction is regarding something that you touched. That's where we are. So, the fact that we haven't heard anything, the bright side, they're probably working on it now because, dear God in heaven, it's their screw up and they know it. Yay, it should be covered. So this evening, because I do try and talk to my mom, I don't really talk to my dad anymore because in his, we'll call it world, I break into their house every now and then and steal from them. I leave no trace. I even lock doors behind me despite the fact that I don't have keys. So I am assuming that I pick locks and then unpick them because they're deadbolts and stuff. So I must... Would that be called unpicking? Relocking a lock from the outside without a key, would that be unpicking? I don't know. And I love language, but it's never, that's not a word that I've ever had to contemplate until, unbeknownst to me, I became a ninja locksmith. Um, so yeah, I don't really talk to my dad so much anymore because I'm a felon. But he hasn't called the police yet because he can't prove it. Okay. I think somehow, some way, your subconscious realizes that you've lost it. I think that's what's going on. Because the dad I know from 10 years ago would have called the police and had me arrested. Which I've even, one of the last times I did talk to him, I encouraged him to do that. I almost pled with him. Yes, you know what? Please call the police. Please accuse me of that. Because maybe that'll get some of your situation on file documented. Because he doesn't think that he's dangerous, but we do. He's way too paranoid to be carrying a gun around in his pocket, which, spoiler, he does. He has a loaded pistol in his front right pocket at all times because he doesn't feel secure leaving the house without it. Even carries it in the house because that burglar. Because there's me and there's also another burglar. And we hit, one of us or both of us hit their place every day. It can't possibly be that my dad is misplacing things because he has Alzheimer's mid-stage and is heading towards final. Nah, that can't be it. If I seem a little angry and bitter today, it's because I'm a little angry and bitter. So, talk to my mom. I try and keep her up to date. And I don't know if I should put it this way or not, but with the mood that I'm currently in, because I admit that I'm salty. I'm not my normal positive self. I'm a little salty right now. The events of the day have pushed me in this direction, which I don't like being in, but yeah, no, I'm in Saltville right now. My mom asked how the boys were. Might have been the wrong time. I didn't raise my voice. And there were times that she sounded like she was in a hostage situation. And then after her stunted speech stopped and she stopped speaking very slowly and carefully, okay, he went back outside. So even she's having to be careful what she says around my dad. Tell me there's not a problem here. But anyway. How are the boys? I'm like, not great. You know, we're trying to get back on track with the medical stuff, trying to get them into the doctors for physicals and all that, because we've been horrible about that the past year and a half. Everything got put on hold. We've had transportation issues and money issues and all kinds of other stuff, obviously. And it's been recommended with the trauma of the past year, and this is what I told my mom. I'm like, you know, both their doctors have recommended that they get some therapy. And my mom was like, what kind of therapy? I'm like, psychiatric therapy. I'm like, do you not realize, I mean, Alex is autistic. He's on the spectrum. He's always going to have some issues here and there, and we know that. We know that. It's just part of the way he's wired. Okay. You know, in the beginning, that was tough. It was tough to hear as parents, because it took a couple years to find a doctor who was brave enough to actually diagnose it. It's like saying a politician saying recession or depression. They don't want to do it because they don't want to be the first one to go on record saying that. You know, so they'll say we're in an economic decline. They don't want to say the word. Doctors, they didn't want to say the word autism or autistic spectrum. No one wanted to be the first. It took us like 2 years to figure out what was going on with our kid. Fun. But we did and will continue to advocate for our kid. That's just how it is. But there's going to be some complications here and there. And we know that. The other one, honestly, he was okay. And then about a year ago, he wasn't. Both my boys are, and I told my mom this, I'm like, they're angry, they're depressed, they're frustrated. A year and a half ago, we were doing okay. I had a good job. There was a real possibility that was about to become a great job. And then we did what we thought was the right thing. And a few months later, I got accused of being a ninja locksmith, and we almost lost our house. Because I didn't have money or gold that I stole from your safe to pay for my mortgage. I didn't. I was relying on you guys to keep us alive because we were supposed to be helping you. That whole helping them navigate the modern world because they don't know how to send a picture on their cell phone kind of thing. And I get it. They're in their 80s. There are a lot of old dogs that just can't figure out these new tricks. We were supposed to be there to help them with that. And that kind of went sideways. I'm helping from a distance where I can. But, and my mom says that she understands this, which the idea that she's saying that she understands this makes me a little upset and nervous because it lets me know that she's aware that there's an issue here to where she should understand it and that there might be a real danger. That whole loaded gun in the pocket, we're kind of bringing it back around. You do that in stand-up too. You start out with a joke, whatnot, you do your set, and then you bring that punchline back around as your closer. Same kind of thing. That's what's going on here. But I don't really want to go over to their place with him there because, point of fact, I don't want to get shot. Because it's actually a real concern. Based on the fact that he always has a loaded gun in his pocket, is paranoid, delusional, and is quite convinced that I've been stealing from him possibly for decades. I don't even know. Maybe the last 60 years, and I'm only 53. But I can't rule it out. It's possible. Because I'm into that science fiction thing. Maybe me and Doc Brown got together and... Marty! Hell of a day. Now I have a chorus line in my head. So, yeah, I know some of you guys probably saw my thing on Facebook. I wasn't trying to be cryptic about the check. I just didn't necessarily want certain people to see it and all that. There are a lot of people that aren't going to follow me here. And I can talk about stuff like that, and it's safer to publish a video for the world to see. But it actually kind of is, which is weird. It shouldn't be that way, but it is. It is that way for some reason. But yeah, that's how my day was. How was yours? And I am going to do those the date videos. I've been like scripting in my head. I'm definitely going to do like 2 or 3 different ones, and I'll make sure they're in a specific folder so that, you can still watch it even if you're not, because I realize that I amuse at times. But yeah, I'm going to get those out. Tomorrow, we don't have a car, but I'm going to at least escort Alex to work. I'm going to see if I can maybe pick up a couple hours while I'm there. I'm not going to walk there, walk home, walk there, walk home. I did that last week, and it was like 96, 103 out. That hurt. That hurt bad. It didn't, kill me or anything like that, but it really sapped me for a day. And no. Nope. There's other ways I can do this. But, yeah. Still giggling like a madman. And more Jekyll and Hyde lyrics in my head. Could it be? Anyway, yeah. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Comment. I'm more than happy to have a dialogue with you here. Hell of a day. Anyway, sorry for being so long-winded. I'm gonna have my coffee and go to bed. It's only been 22 hours. I'm out of my mind. Make it a great day.